dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump in today's inspiration. And you see already on my table are the things we need for this new DIY inspiration. We need, of course, our tumbling tile blocks, the smaller blocks, and of course we have some paint, and I'm going to do a 4th of July DIY, so I need white, red and blue. And of course I have here my container with everything inside, like my brushes, markers, scissors, and of course my wood glue. What would we do without it? And of course my old piece of kitchen towel, which is wet, to wipe away the glue. What we're going to make, we are going to make a tray for the 4th of July. So we will see how this will turn out. So the first step, what we're going to do, we're going to get of course our 4 blocks, and again another 4. So we do this way, and we're going to do the longer side with some glue. This is 1, number 2, and number 3, and we're going to close them up with number 4. We do here the same, 1, number 2, and number 3, and we're going to closing it up with number 4. Squeeze it, press it together this way, and of course we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need over here, and we make one straight line again, and again over here. And if you want to use, like I always say, a metal hook, it's also fine too. Just do whatever you think is right. I always do it without, but you don't have to do it without. If you like the metal hook, it's totally fine. So I'm going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So I gave it a couple of minutes, and I'm going to glue the top side with some glue, place it together this way. And because you only waited a couple of minutes, you can easily fill in the gaps you have in between the 2 parts. So fill with your fingers and lay it apart. And now we're going to do the next step. We're going to get 2 blocks on the tops, 2 over here, 2 over here, and 2 over here. We're going to glue the top side, place it together, and we do here the top side, and of course number 3 and number 4, and we're going to squeeze it, and number 4, and we're only going to wipe away the tops. And we're going to give this also a couple of minutes rest. So in the meantime, while these 4 pieces of 2 are drying, and of course this double pack of 4, we're going to do again 4 blocks in a row. We do this 5 times. So we do places a little above. We have 2 over here, number 3, number 4, and the last, and number 5. And we're going to do the same like we did with the 2 piece. We make a package out of it, and this is 1, number 2, place it together, number 3, and the last, number 4, is the closure up. You do here the same, and number 2, place it together, number 3 and 4 is the closure up. And this is so easy to do. And for this one, we just make a rows for making our flag, because the flag will be in the middle of our tray if everything is correctly. And now we're already doing the last, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is the closure up again. Squeeze it, make sure that you have it in a straight line. Over here the same, just work with your fingers. We do here also with number 3 and number 4 and number 5. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest also. You see already, now we have the parts of our flag, and we're going to first paint all the pieces for the flag, and then we're going to build our tray. So I'm going to do this part in the blue color. Of course, very easy. Just get the blue you like. I have a little bit of the brighter and the brighter red, so, but take the color you need. Of course, you don't have to do the backside because the backside will be on the table. So if you want to save a little bit of the paint, you don't have to do the backside. Most of the time I do it because I think it looks a little bit nicer, but it's just my idea because you don't even see it. So I'm going to paint all the pieces, and I'm going to paint a more red. I paint 1, 2, 3. I have to think, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red and 4 pieces in the white. So I'm going to finish this off, and then we're going to build them together. See already, I did the blue and the red. I only need to do now the white. Of course, I use the creamy white because I like the color very much. But if you like the bright white, it's totally fine. And you can even make an, if you are from another country, maybe from Canada, or maybe from maybe Spain, or maybe Puerto Rico, I don't know. But maybe you can use other colors for your flag. So you can do anything you like. So I'm going to make this one because I want to give you also some inspiration for the 4th of July. And red, white and blue are also the colors, of course, from the Netherlands. So it is a little bit coming together. So I'm going to paint this also in the white color. So you see already, I painted all the pieces, and I took my wooden letters, this bag of letters. And you see already, they are so thin. It's almost kind of stickers. And of course, you could, if you use the letters, I would go for this thin letters, or maybe sticker letters, because we're going to do the word USA on top of here. And of course, it is a tray, so it needs to be flat. So I'm going to do this 3 letters. I'm going to do, of course, also in the creamy white color. So again, all sides I'm going to go over, and I'm going to later glue them on top of here. But I do USA, but do whatever you think it's right. But of course, if you have another flag, you do the letters of your country. So I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to place my placemat aside so the paint can dry. I'm going to get my other placemat, and we are going to build further our frame of our tray. And what we're going to do, we are going to make 6 pieces of 2 like this. And we number 3, number 4, number 5 and number 6 over here. And of course we need 2 sides, so we do again 6 pieces of 2 over here, and another one of 2, and the last. And we're going to do it very easy. We're just going to glue the longest sides. So over here, place it together, and over here. And this will be the top and the bottom of the rest of the tray frame. I call it a frame because the middle will be the flag. And this will be the sides. And then we also have the side parts, but you will see that in a moment. So this is just easy gluing 2 blocks together in the length. Oh, you see already, I'm always messing with my glue. I don't know why, but, and I have the little opening so small, but I even are ready it just to get it one big mess. So we're going to squeeze it and make a straight line. And we're going to squeeze it and make a straight line. I do all of them, but a little faster. So we did let it dry in, and now we're going to get 6 pieces on the top, and we do some glue, and we're going to place them together in one piece. Over here the tops, and over here. And number 5 and number 6 is of course the closure up. Be sure that you, when you're going to squeeze it, start from the inside out, and then at the ending wipe away the glue you don't need. And you do here the same, just some glue on the tops. Over here, place it together, and number 3 and number 4 and number 5. And again, we're going to place it together. We're going to squeeze it from within and then work your way to the outside. Squeeze it and wipe away the glue. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes a rest. So in the meantime, while these two are drying, I'm going to get 9 blocks and 9 blocks over here. And we do the length also from the blocks. We do 1 and again number 2, and we just row them very simply together until 1 block. And this is very important. If you have a block which is a lot smaller or a lot bigger, just remove it and use it from another DIY, because this part needs to be as tight as you can. So if you have, like I said, a block which is not totally fitting, just move it out and just do a better one in between and use the other block for a later DIY where you don't mind when it is a little bit crooked. So again, squeeze it from within, and then on the outside we're going to place it here, squeeze it from within and go to the outside, and make sure that you have a nice straight line again. And we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to give this also a couple of minutes drying. So I gave them a couple of minutes, and now I'm going to get my creamy color, and I'm going to make this part also in the creamy color. So very easy, just go and make it in the color you like. So I'm going to take my time for it, and then we're going to do the next step. So we have all our pieces of the tray, at least the bottom of the tray we have finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my USA, and I'm going to glue them first on top of here. I'm going to lay them down where I want to have them. And this way you can, like I said, you can do it any way you like. I like it this way, but you can do some stars on it. You can do anything you like. So I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to do the S in the middle. It's a little bit too much. Of course, I'm going to wipe away the glue, and I'm going to place this one over here. And I need to make it a little bit more straight. And now I'm going to do the letter A over here, and I'm going to place this one over here. So I'm going to give it some pressure, and I'm going to wipe away with my brush. I have here always a small brush over here. This, you can see it a little bit better this way. And I'm going to get my piece of kitchen towel and make it wet, and I'm going to go very carefully around the lines and make sure that you wipe away the glue, but you still see already the letter is not totally stick on top of my piece. So I'm going to go over it, and I'm going to wipe it away, very easy, and over here. So if you use too much glue like I do, don't worry, you can easily wipe it away. And now the tops. And we're going to let this dry for a couple of minutes. So now I gave it a couple of minutes, and we're going to place pieces over here because we're going to build our flag. We need the bigger ones down, so we need to go over here. This one will be over here, this one will be over here, and we're going to glue them together. And of course, then we're going to build further down this way and this way. And if you use correctly, you have already a kind of a flag. Of course, I'm going to place it aside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue over here. This is one. This is number 2 and number 3. And I'm going to place it down, and we're going to row them together. Very easy. And this way. And we're going to make a nice straight line, squeeze it over here this way, and we make sure that we have a nice line so everything is sticking nicely together. And you see where this one is coming out a little. So over here I'm going to get my brush because I see a little bit of glue coming out, And this time, of course, I'm not going to go over it with my towel, because that would be one big mess. And now we're going to do this one on the side, this one on the side, this one, and of course this one. And we do a little line of glue over here and a little bit on the underside. And we do it over here. And do it as small as you can. And I am the one to saying it because I always make too much of the line. So I'm going to go and do my best. I'm going to place them also down over here. We're going to place this one down. And number 4 and number 5. And we're going to squeeze all of them. Feel with your fingers. So you have a nice line over here, because all the white pieces also need to fit later. So we're going to give it a couple of seconds dry. Of course, what you also can do, if you don't, you can already do some glue over here. And you already can stick this one on here. Everything is correctly. And now we only need to do the blue on this side, on the underside, and on this side. And then we already have our flag. We're going to squeeze it, press it together, and make sure that we have a nice straight line. And we're going to give this at least a 20 minutes rest. Now we're going to take our longer pieces, of course, over here, and the side pieces. It is very easy. We're just going to glue some glue on this side, also a little bit on the underside, and you're going to place it over here. If everything is fitting nicely, of course, we're going to try to get it as fitting as we can, because you are gluing it later. It's always more difficult than you do it in the right straight away, because if everything is glued up and with a little bit of water, it's always the wood is getting a little bit bigger. So you have to do your best, more you can do. So we're going to squeeze it. Now we're going to place this one on the side, and I'm going to try to turn this one over. Maybe this is fitting better. It's not totally fitting better. Maybe I have to look for, maybe on the underside it's fitting better. Just play a little bit with it so everything fits nicely. You see, this is a little crooked on the top, and we will see how this is going to work. It looks already a little bit better. So we're going to go for some glue on this line, and we're going to squeeze all of them over here, and we're going to place it down, and we're going to squeeze it and try to get everything nicely fitting. And now we do the underside. Of course, we still need, and I see already what my problem is. I didn't see that I had one block which is totally offline. You see already over here, he is totally not fitting. So don't make the mistake like I did, and you can already see he's totally not straight. So I didn't see it, so I have to look for where I can work my way around. So because I always show you everything, I have to show you that I did pick a wooden ladder. They are very thin, so I just cut it in size, and I just place it one over here and one over the, I used the letter H, and I'm just going to fill up the opening. And now I did some glue on my piece, and now I'm going to getting it close together this way as best as I can, and then I'm going to paint it over, because this is the best way I can do, because I didn't see that the blocks were not straight. So we are going to very easy squeeze it together until one piece, and we're going to let this dry in before we're going to do the next step. I gave it a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do, I did go to my stash and I get my bags of beads in different sizes, shapes, everything. I took out the beads with are the square ones, but you can use of course also the round ones, but I like the square ones. So what I'm going to do very easy, do some glue on the openings over here, and I'm going to place them in. I'm going to do one on each corner. That's why I always start with, and I'm going to do here the same. And this is just your own privilege, what you like. If you don't like the corners, you don't do the corners. I'm just going to build it up the way I think it's need to be built. And I'm going to place it over here. And I'm going to do the other one. And then I'm going to build it up inside. So very easy. It's just a nice way of spending your time, just to make a kind of little displays. Of course, I'm going to place them down. I think I'm going to go for 9 on the top. So always, before you're going to glue it, place it down and look for where you want to have it. Before you're going to glue it, of course, because or else it's much difficult to find your way. And this way, I think this is for me more than enough on one side. I have 3, 6, I have 8. Maybe I go for a little bit, one more, because the openings are a little bit too big. I think go for this. And this over here. And this over here. So, but of course, I leave it to your own privilege. I'm going to work my way and you see in a moment what I made of it. So we have now our beads on top, and we're going to let it dry at least for an hour, because we don't want, before we're going to paint it, that everything is falling down. So I'm going to leave it an hour, and then I'm going to paint all the beads. And this is easier painting when you already glue them on top of here. So it's very easy to paint in the creamy color. I'm going to place this aside. I'm going to get my new mat, and I'm going to place 6 pieces on the tops this way, very easy. And I'm going to do this 4 times. Of course, it takes a little of your time, but I just want to show you also the parts we need, because I want to make a frame for on top, and I want to make a frame for under it. So for both sides, that's why we need 4 pieces of 6. And I'm going to glue them. This will be the top and the underside of the frame, but you see that in a moment. So 4 pieces of 6, I'm going to glue them together. I do it a little faster. So I have here my 4 pieces of 6. Now we need 4 pieces of 5. We don't need totally 5. Later we're going to cut off a little piece of 1 block, but we need 5 because we need the measurement. So we do 4 pieces of 5, and again we do the same. You just easily roll them together this way, and you're going to squeeze them and start already a little from the inside before you do the outside, and squeeze it. I do the rest a little faster again. So you see already we have our 4 pieces of 6 and our 4 pieces of 5. And if you are looking at the side, this is the top and this is fitting nicely. So this is perfect for the underside and the top. But if you look at this one, you see already, if you are measuring out, you see is a little too long. So we need to cut off a little piece over here. So we're going to make a nice line, and we're going to do for all 4 of them the same measurement. So of course I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to go to my garage, and I'm going to get my jigsaw, and I'm going to saw it out. But you can use your hand saw, and maybe you even have a kind of a cutter. You can also cut this kind of block. So go ahead, I'm just going to use my jigsaw. So I have here my 4 pieces I did cut off, but I was looking at the size and I thought, this is not right. This is not the size we need, because if you are looking correctly, you would place normally this on top. You would do 1 over here, And if we want to fit it in, you see already, it doesn't fit because it's too big still. I should have done 4 pieces, 4 rows of 4 blocks and not 5 blocks. So we need to cut off, so don't make the mistakes. You need 4 pieces of 6 and you need 4 pieces of 4 blocks, not 5, 4 blocks. And from the 4, we are going to cut up a little piece over here. So then we have the right measurement. I did 1 block too much. So I'm going to saw also this part off, and then we have the right size we need to making our kind of a square. So now we have hopefully the right measurement. We're going to turn it over before we're going to paint the little beads. And you see already, we're going to paint this in one time when we glued everything together. So we have 4 longer piece of, like I said, 6, and this is 4 with a little piece off. So I'm going to do some glue on this one over here, and I'm going to glue this on this side. I make sure that I have it fitting nicely and squeeze it. And this way, now we're going to get this, the moment of the truth. Is it if it's the right size or not? So we will see. We're going to fit this in and give it a little bit of pressure. We do here the same over here, and we're going to place this one. I do it in the opposite direction, and over here we're going to place this one over here, and now we have a longer one, and I'm going to look for if this fits the best, or maybe the other side. Sometimes if you change up the side, it works better. So always try before you glue it what side is the best. And of course you can do some extra glue. I did totally forgot it on this side. Oh, I make one big mess over here, and we're going to give it some pressure and make sure that you have it in the middle. And we're going to give this one some pressure over here, and we do here the same. And we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. Of course, this needs to be also a little bit in. Wipe away the glue, and over here. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So I gave it a half hour dry because I needed some coffee. So you see already, this is how it's looking like right now. And of course, if you paint it, it gives a much nicer look. So I'm going to place it over, and now I'm still debating what I'm going to do. Of course I can glue this on top of here, and then glue this, oh, you see already, this one on top of here, but I don't know if it is not too wobbly. I'm still debating if I am going to glue it already together before I'm going to place it on top, because I see already other YouTubers and creators are already, everything goes perfect, but I see already my beads are not totally, all of them have the same size. So I don't know how they do it, but I think I'm going to go for gluing my 4 pieces already together outside, and then glue it on top of my tray. So I'm going to go do this one, and this one. Of course, I'm going to turn this one, and I'm going to glue this already together. So very easy. I'm going to do some on the top on this one. I'm going to place it over here. I do here the same on this side and on this side, and I'm going to place it over here. Make sure I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to squeeze it, and now I'm going to squeeze this one. Oh, you see already, I need to go on the outside over here, squeeze it, and we're going to squeeze the top here a little, and here, and we're going to let this dry in for at least 10-15 minutes. So in the meantime, while my top is drying, I'm going to go over and I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to paint already the underside, so I can do that easily in the meantime. Of course, I do the underside also in the creamy color, but if you like, maybe you could choose for the blue color, then paint it and make a square just like I did on the top, and then paint it in the blue and then glue it on top of here. But before, of course, I did it the same color, then it doesn't matter. So I'm going to go over it and I paint all the underside. So in the meantime, while this frame is drying, I'm going to get this frame, and I'm going to give this also a creamy color. You can do this one also maybe in the blue, the red, or any color, but I like it a little bit more in the creamy color. So I'm going to do carefully, I'm going to paint this one also cream. So in the meantime, while this too is drying, of course my backside is already almost dry. I have here a little piece of felt, and I'm going to cut little squares out of it, because I do on the corners of my tray, I will do a little piece of felt to make sure that my table is not scratching in the moment when I do the top. So I do a very little piece, and I'll do a little block over here, and then I already have 4 corners. So I'm going to do the sticker off, and I'm going to place them on the corners. Of course, a little bit more on the inside, this way. I do so all 4 of them. So I have my little felts under it, and I'm going to very easy turn over my tray. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my smallest brush, and I'm going to get my paint again. And now I'm going to paint all of my little balls over here, little bead balls, little beads over here, and I'm just going to go over them and make sure that they all have a nice color. So I take my time for it, I won't bore you with that, so I'm going to go all around. So we painted our little balls, and of course little balls, I keep saying that, our beads, I keep saying that, because we call them, in the Dutch we call them this way, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to do on each dot top of our little beads, I'm going to do a drop of glue, and then we're going to place our frame on top, and then I really hope that he fits nicely. But we will see how this will work out. When I see other creators do it, it works perfectly. So I am going to hope for that mine will do the same. So I'm just going to do a little bit around and this way, and then the last step we're going to do, of course, we're going to paint everything in totally. So we're going to go over it, and of course I won't bore you with that, I will do the other sides also. Now I'm going to get my frame, and of course I'm going to place it on top, and then I really hope that everything fits nicely. So I'm going to place it over here and make sure that I have everything inside of the frame, and I'm going to give it some pressure, and I'm going to let it dry in. So I hope everything will fit nicely. We will see. So the last step we need to take is, of course, we need to paint off the top over here and a little bit on the sides, and then in a moment you see the quick impression, and I am really happy how this one is turned out. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tower blocks for the July tray. I am so happy how this one turned out. Of course, I hope you give this one also a try, because he's so easy to do and you can change him up any way you like. I decorated it with some drifted items because I love old drifted pieces. So of course, but you can change it up like I told you the way you want. If you're new here, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time Dyanne and I upload new DIYs. And for everyone who is here only for watching, of course, I hope you had fun watching again. And if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.